ज्यूडिशरी में आपने ताक छोड़ी है, तो हम जान रखेंगे। Now we request Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Gaur, the Supreme Court of India.
Supreme Court Bar Association President, Secretary and Office Bearers, Office Bearers, members of the Advocate and Record Association, former judges and senior colleagues, members of the bar and members of the registry. I don't propose to take a roll call, so I'll begin with what I have to say. I walk into the shadows with a sense of fulfillment. And a prayer on my lips for the Almighty who allowed me to serve the country. Life's journey is like a meandering river, always full of curiosities and surprises. A native of Kashmir, born in Delhi, served as the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana, and then at the Madras High Court, right at the southern tip of the country, before being elevated to this court, often called the most powerful court in the world. Although I had a sheltered childhood because of the love and affection showered on me by my elders and my grandfather's guidance, I came from an early age. The school education under the tutelage of the inimitable principal Chairman Kaul and my housemaster Sheikh Chaturvedi helped me broaden my horizon in coming to my own. From a child who was reserved to someone who stepped out onto the stage as a theatre actor, my passion for theatre remained with me right through college and thereafter. My school and college education at St. Stephen's was a journey in self-realization that helped me evolve as a person. It taught me to strike a balance between work and other facets of life, adding joy and meaning to it. I do not subscribe to the notion that a judge should lead a cloistered life. Judging is as much about interpreting laws as life's experience. Interaction with different members of society has provided a perspective on both. The twists and turns of life are unfathomable. My initial inclination was to pursue a degree in economics, followed up with a graduate degree in business administration. The idea was to take the civil services exam to join the foreign service to finish my Hon'ble, as the Chief Justice mentioned. When my family found that they could not convince me otherwise, Justice B.N. Kirpal, then a lawyer, was roped in to persuade me to join the legal profession. In their perception, my inclination towards foreign service would have taken me away from my duties as the eldest son. Justice Kirpal succeeded in his endeavor. He made me change my mind, a decision I have never regretted. As a lawyer, I was guided by late Justice Kumar, whose chambers I delved for over 4 years, allowing me to appear in court under his able guidance. This stage of my professional life was one that I enjoyed thoroughly. When I was invited to join the bench, I had concerns which were addressed by the then Chief Justice A.S. Anand and Justice Kirpal. I was assured that I will never feel a lack of work satisfaction, and I did not. It has been my endeavor to persuade the successful young members of the bar to accept judgeship, citing myself as an example. Delhi High Court is where I cut my teeth to the judge. A young judge like me can be over-enthusiastic. It showed in my attempts to do away with the judgment culture which prevailed in the bar. I believe that a litigant should not be made to wait indefinitely to know the outcome of his case. It did take the bar a little time to adjust to my ways, which they did finally. It is my belief that imparting justice is the responsibility of both the bar and the bench. They have to work hand in hand to innovate, to develop law, to assist people in leading better lives. My elevation from the Punjab and Haryana High Court as Chief Justice after 12 years at the bench came at a delicate time when the relationship between the bar and the bench of Delhi High Court was strained. However, the bar travelled an extra mile to give me a farewell in a manner which left me with a sense of deep gratitude and contempt. The Chief Justice must lead from the front, but carry his colleagues along. The Chief Justice's job carries both judicial and administrative functions. That said, Chief Justices need to show judicial leadership by giving precedence to court work. Thus, administrative work is usually carried out after court hours. The bar at Punjab and Haryana embraced me warmly and accepted me for what I am, a hard taskmaster in court, who would say a clear yes or no at the bar representatives, depending on what was possible. My colleagues also gave me unstinted support for the infrastructure and administrative reforms, recommending names for judicial appointments and designating seniority. The bar also gives suggestions which were of immense value towards making the court more accessible to justice. By way of an example, signages were put up to facilitate the litigation public to navigate the court labyrinth. Both Delhi and Chandigarh have a practice of judges convening over lunch, which provided space and time to discuss and sort out issues concerning the court. I have found this practice to be of immense value. I could, over a cup of coffee at times, find solutions to the most intractable problems. One such decision that I took concerned the resignation of witness seniorities. One fine day, I was suddenly informed that I had to proceed to Madras High Court as a Chief Justice. I was not pleased about this decision, as my tenure was a work in progress in Punjab and Haryana. My wife thought this was my whatever. I assured her that whatever else may be, it would not be so. I was determined to perform my duty as a Chief Justice of the storied court, and my stint turned out to be the most fulfilling period of my career. Until my move to Chandigarh, I had lived in Delhi all my life. Thus, moving to Chennai helped me understand the history and culture of that place, which has its own norms and ethos. The general disposition of people of Tamil Nadu is one of the great humility and acceptance. I went to Chennai reluctantly, but ultimately fell in love with the place. I formed a most enduring friendship, which I continue to cherish today. Although the Madras High Court has a rich heritage, at a point of time when I joined as Chief Justice, there were serious issues between the bar and the bench. No one person can make a change, but I made it endure. The bench of the Madras High Court stood with me on all decisions that enabled advocates and litigants to access the court without impediments. It was important to establish the authority of law. This meant that I had to wage many battles in my tenure as the Chief Justice of that court to achieve that goal. I look back with a great satisfaction of my time and what I learned and imbibed, both within and outside the court. 4 years as Chief Justice of 2 High Courts was an enriching experience. Fortunately, there was more in store for me. My elevation to Supreme Court gave me a tenure of almost 7 years, which exposed me to a wide array of challenging matters. A judge's greatest satisfaction is in penning down a judgment which contributes not merely a constitutional court, but practically works as a court of appeal. Everything and anything comes with it. It is the final court, and thus a cautious approach becomes necessary as one is laying the law for the country. The Supreme Court is often called supreme because its decision is final, and not because it is infallible. I have had no illusions about this. I always feel that when I pen down something, it is just an opinion, to be agreed with or corrected in future. The bar acts as a check on the judiciary, and this kind of check and balance should be welcomed. In the same vein, it takes strength and courage to simply arrive at a decision and stick by it. Although this is a basic expectation of being a judge, it is not often easy to do so. If there is one piece of learning that I can share with my assistant and other judges, And those of you in the audience who choose to walk this path, it is that there is often no right decision, but only the best one in a given circumstance. Find the courage and conviction within you to make a decision, and once you do, don't look back. Decisions are made not only from an application of mind, but also from the heart. By this I mean, intuition and empathy go a long way in judicial decision making. I do not think that anyone could have put it better than Kipling in his poem. I quote, "If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of wisdom, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be back next time." I have endeavored to perform my task with a sense of humility, yet I know I have been tough in court on more than one occasion. However, I have done this with the best of intention. As the Zulia keeps reminding me, sitting on the bench, courts का एक बार होना चाहिए. Over the last year and a half, I also had the additional responsibilities that come with being the second judge for the justice. In the many ways that lives come around, this too came out. As I had the privilege of sharing these responsibilities with my long-time friend from St. Stephen's, who I fondly call Dan, I have endeavored to execute this role to the best of my ability. One role that I will cherish fondly is being the executive chairman NALSA, and also the chairman of the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee. This gave me the opportunity to see the dispensation of justice at the grassroots level, which has been a source of personal satisfaction. Along with Brother Justice Khanna, Justice Sardar, Justice Mansadi, Justice Jayakaran Nambia, Justice Moshni Bhattacharya, we were able to make significant inroads. Today, NALSA has footprints all over the country and forayed into many areas with the aim of maximizing assistance to litigants. The Secretary NALSA, Santosh, has played an extremely important role in assisting me in responsibilities, including in organizing the first regional conference on access to legal aid and strengthening access to justice in Global South. I would like to add that the reliance on mediation has grown by leaps and bounds, which I have vociferously advocated with the able assistance of MS Nizamuli, Member Secretary, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. I have always believed that courts are temples of justice and must remain open to the litigants to knock at their doors any time. Litigants are tired and weary, more so by the time they reach this moment, which is the court of last resort. The bar and the bench exist for them. It is to the credit of this court that access to justice remains unimpeded at all times. The challenges faced by litigants who approach this court for resolution of their disputes must remain foremost in our mind while dispensing justice. The prayer of every judge is something that I keep on my table. Give me the grace to hear patiently, to consider diligently, to understand rightly, and to decide justly. Grant me due sense of humility, that I may not be misled by my willfulness, vanity, or egotism. In my own way, I have tried to adhere to this prayer. I have been often asked what I enjoyed more, my days at the bar or bench. My answer to this query has always been that my experience both at the bar and the bench has been enjoyable and thoroughly satisfying. My family has stood by me in difficult times. My wife Shivani would tell me that I should do what I felt was right in my heart. My daughter Akanksha and Upasana did have a grievance that I did not spend enough time with them. I have always said there are three women in my life. My son-in-laws, Adit and Arjun, may possibly have had the same grievance as my daughters. Apportioning time between work and personal life becomes challenging at times. I have tried to make amends with regards to my grandchildren, Veer and Adya. I have been more indulgent with them, though I still feel I fall short. I would like to thank my staff who worked with me in Delhi High Court, Madras High Court and the court in this court in California. I treasure and applaud their commitment and efficiency. One of the innovative steps taken by the institution is to attach law researchers to judges. This practice has benefited both the judges and young law graduates. Law researchers who are enthusiastic and committed assist the judges in myriad ways. I would like to commend my law researchers. Going back to my days in the Delhi High Court, namely Radhika, Karthik, Tanvi, Aparna, Shelja, Bhavesh, Maitri, Pranav, Costa, Shreya, Eka, Dolan, Rani, Abhishek, and many more. I am told that they have a WhatsApp group called Kaul and Company. What now? I want to do things to which I have had no time. Travel where I have not been. Spend more time with the family, especially my grandchildren. Watch theatre, play golf, watch films, learn to play the piano, read, and keep my mind occupied with some leisure. It has been a satisfying experience to say the least, but I believe much more is to come. As I traverse onwards from my judicial path, I would like to end this address with my favorite verse from the poem of Robert Frost, Stop in my woods on the snowy evening. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. While I have no intention to sleep, I think I have earned a well-deserved rest in the woods. Thank you, India.
संजय सर, चार लाइन और। आपकी सोच को आवाज हम देंगे, आपके ख्वाब को आगाज हम देंगे, आपके जाने पर इतना भरोसा दिलाते हैं, आपके इरादों को बर्बाद हम देंगे। संजय सर, आपकी कुल देवी ज्वाला जी की कृपा पे है, जो पूरी परिवारों में है, जो हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है, जो ब्लेसिंग्स है। संजय सर, your words have always been empowering to the lawyers and the members of the bar. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now may I request Mr. R. Venkatramani to present the portrait to Honorable Justice Sanjay Kishan.